Hello everyone, I am Ms Mathabathe and I welcome you all to today's mathematics lesson. Grab your pen and paper and let's get into it. So by the end of today's lesson, you should be able to draw a graph, plot a graph, identify the type of graphs we have, and interpret the graph on the table. Before we go further, I would like you to define the following mathematical terms. Now, what is a function according to your understanding? One would say that a function refers to the relationship between two variables. In our case, the x-coordinate, which is the input on a table, and the y-coordinate, which is the output. What is a graph paper? After writing the coordinates on the table, we will use a graph paper to plot that graph. So a graph paper is a paper we use to draw a graph. What is the equation of a linear graph? Usually we write it as f into x, close bracket, is equals to mx plus c. But the true equation of a linear graph is y is equals to mx plus c. The difference is that f into x is equals to mx plus c is the function of a graph, not the equation of a graph. It determines the type of a graph that we will be dealing with. What is the y-intercept? The y-intercept is the point where a graph crosses the y-axis, and the x-intercept is the point where the graph crosses the x-axis. Now let's speak about the equation of a linear graph. As we have said, the function of a linear graph is f into x, close bracket, is equals to mx plus c, but the equation is y is equals to mx plus c. What is m in our equation? M is the gradient or the slope of the graph. It determines the direction which will be taken by the graph. X is the x-intercept and c is the y-intercept. Now let's look at graph number 1. Looking at the shape of graph number 1, it is going from the top left to the bottom right, meaning our graph is decreasing. This may be because our gradient is a negative gradient, meaning that our graph is decreasing and not increasing, like the one on graph 2, whereby it starts from the bottom center of the graph to the top left or right side. You can say that this graph has an increasing slope, meaning that the gradient is growing and not decreasing. I hope we understand the concept of a gradient. Now, before we go further, let us take a quick break. Here is a fun activity for all of us. We are going to name the numbers 1 up to 10 in our home languages or any other official South African language except for English. For the day, I will appoint English as my home language and give you all an example of how we count in our languages. So in English, we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, I want to hear how we count in your language. It may be Sepedi, isiZulu, isiXhosa, isiNdebele, Afrikaans, or any other South African official language. Teach me how to count in your language. Let us teach each other how to count in our different languages. After the activity, we have an official one, which is drawing a graph with the coordinates we are given below. It is important, rather, to not forget to label your x and your y intercepts or your x and your y axis on your graph. And also, always label your point 0 in your graph. So when we look at the coordinates we are given, our input, which is x in this table, is the following coordinates, which is 0, 1, 2, and 3. And as we look at the y-axis, which is the output, has the following coordinates: 3, 5, 7, and 9. With these given coordinates, I want you, my friend, to draw a graph and include those points on that given graph. I want you to show me how your graph comes about, how it looks like. Does it have a growing or a decreasing slope? Does it start at the perfect point 0 and 0, or it starts anywhere in the middle of the graph? After drawing, we will compare our graphs, as I've also done the activity, and my graph looks like this. I hope your graph looks similar to mine, or rather, maybe mine is incorrect and yours is better. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed doing this lesson with me. As we can see, the slope of my graph is growing, meaning my gradient is positive. On my y is equals to mx plus c, the gradient would be constant because my graph does not change shape. It's in a linear position or motion. It does not take any U-turns or any other directions, meaning the gradient that I will get at this point is the same as the gradient I will get at this point if I want to calculate the gradient. How do you calculate the gradient? You can take any point on the Cartesian plane. Let's take 9 and 3, and then we include it on our equation of y is equals to mx plus c. Now tell me, what is our x-axis? 3, right? And what is our y-axis? It is 9. So we will say y is, I hope you're taking notes, my friend. We will say y is equals to 3. We'll say y is equals to m into brackets 3 plus 9. Then we will take the 9 to the other side of our equal sign. So now we will say negative 9 is equals to m into 3. Now I want you to be creative and take this activity further. Tell me what your gradient was at the end of that calculation. I have given you a start. I want to see if you can finish the calculation on your own. That now, my friend, leads us to the end of today's lesson. Ria leboha. Let me leave you with a quote by Albert Einstein, who says that pure mathematics is, in its own way, the poetry of logical ideas. You can interpret this in any way of your language or preference, and if you're struggling to understand what it really means, in simple terms, you can ask your artificial intelligence program. It can be Meta AI on WhatsApp, it can be ChatGPT, it can be a Copilot, or anything else. Just ask it to simplify the English that is used by Albert Einstein in this quote, and tell me what your AI thinks about the code, what it interpreted it into. What does the code mean? Now this will teach you how to use AI in a better way as well. With that being said, my friend, I hope to see you on the next lesson. Have a good day. Bye.